Hey, everybody, welcome to the Achieve Results Now podcast. This is Mark Cardone.
And Theron Feidt.
This is a very cool concept that we're talking about today because we are entering the new year when we're recording this. I don't know when it releases. It may already be closer.
Well, no, they should. It should be, if they listen to it when it releases, it should be a week before.
Yeah, so if you're listening when it releases, but this concept also applies not only to the end of the year, but to the end of the week, to the end of your birth year. And what we're talking about today is people have this image in their head of this better person they're going to turn into magically at the start of a new whatever it is, year, week, birthday, whatever.
Yeah, and we talked about the phrase becoming the better you. I have a little problem with that just because everybody says it. You hear it all the time. You certainly hear it around New Year. It's kind of it's certainly a cliche, but that doesn't mean it's not something you should work for and work towards, right? Just because it's overused and the marketing behind it many times just, right? But what we're really talking about is, we're all changing. We're all either getting better or we're getting worse as the week and the months and the years go on, right? And it's physical, but it's also mental, spiritual. It's all that. What are you smirking at?
I want to think about the cycle that people go through a little bit, because I think it's interesting. Is like we know that our birthday is coming up, or New Year's coming up, or Monday is coming up, right?
Right.
And maybe let's use the week, because I think everyone can relate regardless of when you're listening to this. But Monday's coming up, and it's Thursday, right? And on Monday I'm going to start, being healthier. So what do I do from Thursday to Sunday? Right. Well, I'm not even going to bother, because on Monday I become this new person who's going to exercise every day, which I've never exercised before. I'm going to eat I'm going to start eating lettuce, which I hate. So magically on Monday, though, I'm going to be this different person. So the next 4 days I can, and I know if I was saying this to a group and I said, quote unquote, and I pointed at them and said, answer what it is, they would say, I can enjoy the next few days.
Sure.
Before I become this person, which, if you're enjoying a few days before you become this person, what is that person doing? Like, what's the better person's doing things you hate?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it just creates a negative momentum or opposite momentum in the direction that you want to go. And there's a lot of wishful thinking or magical thinking going on when you feel that by this date, I'm going to all of a sudden change. And not to say that never happens to certain people and certain people's personality. They can go cold turkey on something and all of a sudden they switch. And we both know that decisions happen in a snap of a finger. However, most people don't really make true decisions. They kind of go in the direction, sort of. And like what we're talking about here is they're procrastinating, or they're waiting to go into that certain direction before they go, and they're usually going in the opposite direction. Let's say it is about a diet, so they're going to go crazy for the next 3 to 4 days, and then Monday they're going to start hard. How long does that last? Well, we know how long.
And sometimes they don't.
About New Year's resolutions, we've talked about that many times through the years. How long do those last? You go to any gym, the first 2 to 3 weeks is crazy. Then by the end of January, beginning of February, it's back to normal. Right? So that's how long it lasts.
What you end up doing, and this is if you even do it, because I know a lot of people who they take Thursday through Sunday and they just go nuts. They go on their spending spree. They do whatever they're going to do to completely abolish their goals. And then Monday they go, oh, well, you know what? I screwed up once, so I'm going to start next week. And then you have a whole nother week of it. And you can really compound your negative results that way. But, so I think that's interesting, that what happens is if they do start, like you said, I used a great example with New Year's week at the gym, or, if you're in business, New Year's week on social media, because all of your competitors are going to post every day for 3 days, to be pros at marketing. And, but all it is it's them wearing the costume of different habits, and the costume of different habits, you can only last so long before you get tired of wearing it. You know, I mean, I always think of it like one of those Halloween costumes that I know I wore as a kid that had like the rubber face mask, and you know, you'd breathe in it and get all damp and gross, and then you have to take it off. And I feel like literally that's what people are wearing when they go into that first week of the gym. After a while, you're just like, I don't want to wear this today.
Right.
So
yeah, and you know, the first step that we came up with, I'm going to say it, but I also am going to say the counter to it as well.
I'm glad you're starting with this one.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the current you. Okay. So as a concept, I think that's true. I think, you know, all humans, they have a certain value, you know, wherever you are, whatever stage of life you're in, whatever economic area you're in, there's definitely value to you. And I think probably our listeners, I would definitely agree, there's nothing wrong with the current you. However, there are people that are just jerks. There are people that are just nasty. There are people that, you know, that they enjoy being that way.
Yeah.
You know, so there is something wrong with them.
Right. But you know what? So I have this great example for this one, because and this is what I was thinking of kind of when we started to put it together. There's and I wish I could think of his handle on TikTok, but there's a guy I started following on TikTok who lost, I think, 180 pounds over a 2-year period. Very level-headed, very down-to-earth guy. But he loves Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
Okay.
Right. He loves them. Right. And he basically went into the world saying, like, look, this is proof that the me who likes Popeye's chicken sandwiches can still lose this much weight over 2 years and still eat Popeye's chicken sandwiches. Right. So there's people out there who are listening to this podcast who say, like, look, I don't like to, you know, cold call. Okay, let's say I don't like to cold call. There's a successful you out there in sales who doesn't like to cold call, and who maybe doesn't, you know, traditional cold call. There's a successful you in the world who doesn't have to say, like, look, I love Twinkies. I'm never going to be fit, right? I have to be this new person who completely abandoned. Not that I think Twinkies are disgusting, by the way.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with, like, the person listening to this podcast right now can achieve their goals without completely abandoning the however many years of history you have.
Yeah, because you know, I love what you said there, because there are certain things that you like, and I think there's certain things that are just part of you that you naturally are going to gravitate towards. And how do you work around that? And because if you stop yourself from things that you naturally like, eventually, you know, something's going to happen. Something's going to break.
Yeah.
And so it's important that I exactly what you said. There is a workaround. You just have to, okay, here's my goal. Here are my limitations. Here's what I can do differently to still accomplish what I'm looking for. If you're an owner of a business, you potentially don't need to do any cold calls. You just need to know how to do them and how to train people to do them. But other people, you can hire somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Just like if you run a business and you're not a tax person, well, you shouldn't do your own taxes in your business anyways. You're going to hire that out. So a cold call or something you truly do not like to do, you can hire that out as well.
Well, and it's interesting because in the time management circle, because I spent a lot of time this year reading on time management. And, you know, I mean, a lot of people will say, hey, delete Netflix off your TV, delete it off your phone, because you're putting too much time into it.
Right.
And yes, I understand that philosophy, because I think, you know, personal achievement for years has said, just get rid of those things. Right.
Yeah.
But I think for most of us normal humans, right, like if we delete Netflix, we're going to download something else.
Yeah.
Right. Because Netflix isn't the problem. The problem is the need for distraction.
Right.
And if we delete Netflix, we're going to download Toon Blast, or our brains are going to find comfort. Right. So it's about disciplining ourselves to be able to do the things we still enjoy and in moderation. Right. And discipline ourselves to know where that line is, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So let's go into number 2. So I think that's a great number 1. Let's go into number 2, because number 2, you know, as we talk about you being fine the way you are, it's different actions. It's realizing that it's just a few different actions that make the difference between who you are today and who you want to be, who you want that future person to be. right? It's not, I mean, massive action is great. And I think massive action has been misunderstood a little bit, where it's, I want to, start managing my time. So I'm going to delete Netflix. I'm going to put my phone on the charger. I'm going to do all these things at the same time. When really it's just do this thing consistently and focus on it.
Well, really your actions define you.
Yes.
It's not what you say, it's what you do. It's easy to say all the things you're going to do, but it's much more difficult to actually do them. And don't be a talker, be a walker. Make sure that you are the one that's taking action, and understand that the key to being a better you, if that's what you're looking for, and I would argue that anytime you set a goal, that setting that goal automatically makes you want to be a better. I mean, that's part of it. You have to become, it's the person that you become as you're working towards that goal, right? That allows you to achieve the goal. Because if there's something that you want, well, you're missing something.
Yeah.
You're missing the skills, you're missing, this, whatever it is. And so that the action is really where the magic is.
Yeah. And it's interesting because this is where like I've said this 100 times on this podcast. I have a coach. The value of my coach is not his intelligence and process, right? But he does help me work through process. But the value of a coach is I don't know if anyone's ever been to a reunion of like a high school or college reunion, but you see somebody at the 20th reunion and they say, "Hey, I'm going to write a book. I'm working on writing a book." That's awesome. What do they say at the 25th reunion when you say, "How did the book turn out?"
Right.
Oh, things came up. I'm still kind of working. You know what I mean? The value of coaching is that every week you can't have something come up, right? Because they're watching your actions. The value of a coach is not only helping you understand the actions, but it's holding you accountable to taking the actions. Because like you said, your actions define you.
Yeah, they do. They do. And we all make excuses. I mean, all of us make excuses. Very few people are to the point where they're just go, 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 go. Those are the outliers in the world, that just take action and all that. But most of us, we're going to not take an action, and we're going to make an excuse. We're going to justify why we didn't get this done. And we've all said it, and I try to catch myself when I say it. Oh, I'm really busy. Well, everybody's really busy, and things are really busy. But are you truly getting the things done that you need to get done?
I know people with nothing going on who are extremely busy, but so this is a side story here on action, and I want to just hit this real quick because as we talk about that, not everyone can afford to get a coach, but there's as far as accountability goes, find someone who holds you accountable. I texted you, I think it was the Monday after Thanksgiving, and with an idea. So my favorite leftover food is turkey sandwiches. I love turkey sandwiches. It's my decadent leftover meal, right?
It is pretty good.
Right. They're pretty good. I like white Wonder Bread, not anything fancy. So I said to Joyce, Joyce, I don't want to eat any leftovers after Friday. So Thursday, Thanksgiving, Friday leftovers, then I'm done. So Saturday morning, what do you think I did?
I don't know.
I got up to get a turkey sandwich for lunch. And guess where the turkey was? Garbage. Joyce threw it out.
Nice.
Right? So get somebody in your life. I don't care if it's a spouse or someone who you live with or a good friend, just get someone to throw your turkey away for you. Because literally, I think that's a great example for action, because we're not all strong enough to do it on our own. Sometimes we need that little help from somebody else. Was I mad at her for throwing the turkey away? Sure was. But I was also great. I hope she's listening to this. I was also grateful that she did it. So there you go.
Awesome. Great story. I don't think you told me that.
No, I'll tell you. Yeah, we can add a boat in it too if you want.
Okay, good.
Excuse me.
And then so the third step, and this is something. I mean, you're going to know what the third step is. Or you're going to be like, oh yeah, of course.
It's in the title of the podcast. It's in the title of the podcast.
And it is in the title of the podcast. But when's the best time to take action? Now.
Yeah.
We talked about that in a couple podcasts ago. Is that you need to do it now. Don't wait. And that's what we're talking about. When you set a goal, when's the best time to get moving on your goal? As soon as you set it. And we talked about it's okay to do small actions. You don't need to do these large, huge actions. You just need to move in the right direction. And if you're going to go running, make sure you have running sneakers. So as soon as you set that goal, go out that day and buy some running sneakers if you need new ones, or buy some, whatever the case is, because then you're creating momentum. That's one of the keys. So we've talked about momentum a lot, but I think momentum is something that people realize and understand, but they don't utilize it enough.
Yeah.
Or they know it, and they were like, well, I'm not going to do that because that's going to force me to do more. So they almost are like holding back because they know that's going to get them going.
Yeah. Or I mean, like, look, if you're listening to this, your dog needs a walk. Okay. Like walking your dog is exercise. Yeah. I don't care, because people think that they go, well, it's only a walk. It's not really going to get me sweating. Right. So it doesn't, so I'll just sit here and watch TV for another 2 hours. Right. Right. Your dog needs a walk. Take your dog for a walk. Give yourself the gift of small action. Mm-hmm. And just start. I mean, working with so many business owners right now, and this is part of where this came from, where they're saying, oh, I can't wait till January 1st so I can really start diving into this thing. And you go, well, what can you do today? Like, what can you do? You want to start this huge marketing plan January 1st. Like, what can you do during this great time of year when everybody's social? And maybe can you take a photo of it and put it on your Instagram story so people kind of know you're, I mean, there's a lot you can do with very little effort, this week. So, but realizing, like you said, the best time for action is not when you're that new person. It's today, so you can become that new person.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure. I love it. All right. Let's review. I think we covered all three, but we'll go through it. So the first one, if we want to title this "Becoming the Better You," that's fine. But the first step is there's nothing wrong with the current you, meaning that you've gotten to this point. Hopefully you've shown some success. So now you're ready to take it to the next level.
That's right. Number two is that it's not a different you, it's different actions that will create a better you. Your actions define you. So realize what those actions will be and get people to help you with that.
And then step three, very simple. When's the best time to do anything, to start things? The answer is very simple. It's now. Take action now. Achieve results now.
It's in the name of the podcast.
Yes.
Speaking of podcast, thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure to share this with somebody who would enjoy it. We appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.